Oh hell. You're videoing?
Yep. It's gonna be on YouTube, number 2. Sorry.
Okay. So this right here, this is going to be dollars and cents. So it's equal sum. You want to take this, your what's in the set, times the dollar amount, and then close it out. And then once you get it right, just grab your little corner and then drag it down.
Okay.
So, but the problem is if you just copy and paste it to this column here, Excel's gonna jump the cell. I'll show you. Control C. And a lot of people just copy paste, but when you look at the cell reference, you see it jumped over 2 columns, and it jumped over 2 columns. So what you have to do when you initially create your formula, you have to what's called lock the cell, lock the reference. So how you lock the reference is you use the dollar symbol. So if you always want it to look back to a specific cell, you would do dollar. If you do it this way, it will, no matter where you paste it, it will always look back to that cell. But in this case, we don't want it to look back to this specific cell. We want it to look back to the column.
Got it.
So now you'll do the same thing. Fix your formula, basically, is what I'm saying. Right? And now when you copy and paste it, if you look at the cell reference, now it's saying take my review times my price. So it's kind of locked the reference, and you can see it. It keeps jumping C9, C10.
Right, nice.
Okay.
Dollar sign.
And then the difference is the same thing. Equal sum. You want to take your review minus your pre-review. So when you do your math, it's adding up in the same thing. Copy it down. And then it's semantics on if you want it to be the bracketed red or whatever. So that's just the normal number. Okay. On yours, you need to use decimals because this is a bomb X and there's decimals in there.
All right.
So in this one, and you'll have to do decimals. And then up here, I'll unhide this stuff. The reason, I'll show you here. The reason I leave this blank line, blank 4, is so when you do data sorting and everything, Excel will keep this row as a header.
Okay.
So now what you're going to do is you're going to have to tell Excel to do the math to say, tell me how big my assemblage is. So all you got to do is just go equal sum, and then just go L7. I always go 600. I don't know why. That's just my thing.
Okay.
And what I'm telling Excel to do is I'm telling Excel to add up this column. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And then same thing. I'm going to tell Excel equal sum November 7 to November 600. Add up. Now add up what the review total was. And it doesn't matter where you put it. Equal sum, and then it's just telling math.
Okay.
So as we build it, I just, because we added that one item, we now grew the set by $10,000.
Okay, got it.
Or same thing. And the reason it's a negative is because right now there's nothing in this column.
Okay.
But let's see here. But as you start building the assemblage, you can see the difference is going down. So, or the same thing, if we add an item, now we grew the set by $3,400. And then, so what this number over here is, this is what I'm using. This number is for the quantity required. So like on this MES physical exams 232, I used AE2S, the most recent tab folder.
Okay.
Do you know how to do that?
Yeah.
To get the number of required.
Wow. Okay.
And then what I'm
232.
Right.
80 cents.
So what I'm telling Excel to do is take this amount times the number of required equals that's the current savings.
Okay, current savings, gotcha.
But it's not right because of course it hasn't been built yet.
Sure.
But at the end that it'll give you the math. So I'll show you. So let's go through one now that it's so. Once you get it, you know how you want it to be. So as you're going through the review, they'll say, "Hey, the assemblage is currently $194. Let's review." Remember, I was talking about leaving line 4 open. By leaving 4 open, and when you use the filters, it'll keep it on your title.
Okay.
So you say, "Hey, I just want to look at what is in this first aid kit." So you can filter it, take the 0 off, and now I'm looking at just what's in the assemblage. So we can go through it. 0.16, 0.12. Let's say they take that out. Let's say they want to add 1. So in this case, we saved $25.88. But let's say there was 232 of those.
Right.
The total Army savings is $6,000.
Okay.
For just that assemblage. And then what I did is over here, I'm telling it to add up all of those amounts.
Army savings.
Correct. And then what roundup? So because you're using money, you need to round up. Because if you just go sum, it'll go. So let's say this was 0.091256 blah 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 blah.
Right.
It's gonna keep adding up those decimals above a penny.
Okay.
But we don't do decimals above penny. So if it was 0.0912 blah blah blah, that would roll to 10 cents.
10 cents.
So that's why you do the roundup.
Okay.
What this right here is, that's telling you to what decimal. So in this case, I'm telling it to round up to -4. So if you do a 0, if you did a 0, I'll show you. So if you did if I did a 0, you can see how it gives all of the characters versus if I go -4.
Mm-hmm.
See how it zeroed it out,
Right.
and
Okay.
it rounded it.
Rounded it big time.
So, so that's like I said. Once you get one right, then what you can do.
Yep.
Once you get it right, you can then just copy and build all your other ones.
Okay. Nice.
So,
Nice.
That's it.
That's huge. 10 minutes, 30 seconds.